You're full.
I think this is more for our
You
BBS.
might have just done 2020.
We got a lot of time. Yeah, it's interesting laying block and just mixing concrete third one. Yeah,
downloading everything.
Six guys, seven of them put
As it comes
down.
in, download
Help rebuild. We didn't get the roof. No, we were there for a week.
As soon as I did that,
Well, we want to, but it gets to the rainy season.
Yeah.
You know, it costs 20 grand to go down. You have 10
worth
grand
a try. And it didn't take you hours.
Airbnb and flights, and you know, you go down there and you lose 3 days in rain, and you justify that. So, but we're talking about it. Yeah, that was awful. Great. It was the food. I expected to lose weight. I gained weight.
Oh, that's fun.
We worked hard and we gained weight. The food was so good.
Okay, let's wait for your boss then.
Yeah. No. Oh, was that my outside voice? No.
I'm not sure if it's a love hate. I just can't. Oh, maybe.
I try to have them arrested all the time.
Was it a customer today? I couldn't get in the doors and nobody was answering. I couldn't get me in. All of a sudden, all the police showed up, and I'm like, I thought it was just the doorbell, you know. They're like, "Oh no, we're looking for an employee. We get something admin," and they all. And I'm standing at the front door, and all these police are coming. And they, so I figured, well, I'm gonna
These are good. Maybe.
It looked like it. I haven't seen a C of O for it yet.
Yeah, I meant to text him.
I was going to try to talk to Tracy today, see if I can get a C of scheduled for a C of O because I don't know what site works.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this workshop meeting, the Town of Henrietta Planning Board on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Members present, Matt Borkowski, Patricia Brill, Craig Eckert, Walter Liss, Steve Rutledge, town staff present, Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning, Luke Bushin, Deputy Director of Engineering and Planning, and Planning Board Attorney Donald Young. We'll begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll invite everybody to stand with the board. Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America.
And to the republic under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, board members, we've got the minutes of our June 16th, 2026 meeting to approve. I think we've all had a chance to review those. Does anybody have any comments or questions on the minutes? Hearing none, the chair will make a motion to approve those minutes. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Eckert? Thank you. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Depending on the chair, the ayes have it.
Abstain.
Oh, Mrs. Brill abstains.
I abstain as well.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 of us, 4 of us. Okay, we have approved minutes. Thank you, everybody. All right, our first application this evening is application number 26-004, Mary Cariola Children's Center. This is for final site plan approval for the redevelopment of a 190,000 square feet of the former Marketplace Mall building in the northeast quadrant for the construction of a Mary Cariola Center School located at 3400 West Henrietta Road in a commercial B1 zone district with a mixed-use redevelopment overlay district. So I will welcome the applicant. Please step forward and provide your name. And oh, it's Mr. Vars. Hello, Peter.
Good evening. My name is Peter Vars from BME Associates. Appearing tonight on behalf of the Mary Cariola Children's Center. With me this evening is Dr. Christine Sheffer from Carriola and David Matthews from SWBR. They are the project architects, and they'll be able to go through the architectural building elevations for you this evening. As you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, we are appearing this evening to request final site plan approval for the Mary Carriola Center School to be located at the marketplace, located off of Miracle Mile Drive on that property. The proposal is to demolish 190,000 square feet of existing mall space and then to redevelop it in two phases of new construction so that Mary Carriola can consolidate and create a single school campus at this site. The construction will allow Carriola to consolidate their preschool through their middle school student population into one campus. As you mentioned, the property is zone B1 commercial within the mixed-use residential overlay district. The proposed school use is a permitted use per special use permit and with incentive zoning. Those two actions were addressed by the town board. The town board on May 20th of this year issued a rezoning resolution for incentive zoning. It was resolution number 10-193/2026. And they also issued the special use permit for the proposed school use per resolution number 10-194/2026. The site plan that's been prepared, and I believe is up on your screen was prepared in conformance with the findings of the seeker negative declaration determination issued by the town board, along with conditions of the town board resolutions for the special use permit and the rezoning, and also even input from this board when we appeared before you back in May as part of that coordinated review and special use permit process. The area to be developed is located at the north end of the mall. It will include the mall space that is bounded to the north by the JCPenney building. The JCPenney building will remain in place, open and operated as JCPenney, and just to the west of the Floor and Decor store. And the Floor and Decor store will remain in place, open and operating. As we mentioned, it is a two-phase construction. The first phase of construction will be at the northern end of their proposed redevelopment footprint of adjacent or abutting the Penny's building. That will total around 62,500 square feet, and that will be for their middle school student population. Subsequently, or after that, phase two would be developed, which would be the remaining 127,500 square feet of space. And that would be south of phase one and connect to what will ultimately be University of Rochester space of the existing mall building. That's 127,000 square feet will be for Carriola's preschool and grade school student population. The building will be single-story construction with a maximum height of around 21 to 22 feet, well below the code established maximum within the MURA of 50 feet. And as I mentioned, Mr. Matthews will get up when I'm finished to walk you through the architectural elevations. The site plan layout has been prepared in conformance with the bulk area requirements of the B1 zone and the MURA. It is in conformance with the 80-foot perimeter setback that is required for the property. And it does meet the requirements for the 0-foot interior setback as it relates to the Penny's building, in that there will be a demising wall established between the existing Penny's structure and the new structure to be built. As we met, the other criteria is the MURA establishes a maximum building area of 45% on the Carriola lot. The new building will occupy about 28% of the lot area. So we're well within that area. Carriola will intend to purchase 15.5 acres of mall property, which will encompass their building, and then the parking area at the northeast corner there, as shown on the site plan. That will be a separate subdivision application that will come before the planning board. It'll likely be done in conjunction with the University of Rochester also, but Carriola will be purchasing the 15.5 acres. The new building will reconfigure building entrances as we know them today at the mall space. At the west side, just below Penny's, there will be a vehicle drop-off area there. That will be a western entrance into the school. But their primary and visitor entrance will be at the northeast corner of the site. And that will also include vehicular drop-off. What Carriola is doing, what we're proposing with this site plan is heading northeast off of that main entranceway, is we are going to install a 12-foot wide concrete walkway to allow transportation vehicle pickup and drop off designated specifically for the students. How Carriola operates their student pickup and drop off is each transportation vehicle is selected by the school district. Carriola serves over 50 school districts in the Finger Lakes region. It is the school district that determines what is the vehicle that transports the students to the school. So it can be anything from a van to a transport van to a small bus to a full-size bus. However, how Carriola manages their drop-off and pickup scenario is those vehicles are, I'm going to use the term radioed in, so that they are not brought into the drop-off pickup area until there is a space available. Each student is individually walked to or from the drop-off to the school. Because of the special needs of the student population, it is imperative for student safety that they receive this special attention, and Carriola manages this process diligently, both at the morning drop-off and the afternoon pickup time schedules. Just to the west of that drop-off area, there will be 25 spaces designated for parent and visitor parking. As it relates to parking for the use, the Henrietta Town Code does not designate a specific parking ratio for a school use. It is based on the actual user. Mary Carriola, based on their staffing needs for the full build out of this 190,000 square feet, estimates they would need 450 parking spaces. As it relates to this mall property, there is an area that centers on the proposed drop-off area, which is known as the exclusive area of Mary Carriola. That's the area that they have complete control over. That will contain 114 parking spaces, so they get to dictate what happens with that within that area. Thus, they can sign them for parent parking. They can sign them for transportation vehicle parking and drop off. The remaining parking that they require, 336 spaces, are provided within the rest of their lot, but it is subject to the reciprocal easement agreement that is in place across the marketplace property. We did provide with our application the complete parking analysis and tabulation for the overall marketplace, given existing users and proposed users. What that shows is that the current, I should say not current, post-development of Mary Carriola, there will be 4,854 parking spaces on the mall property. Per code application for all of the users, the university's AOC, the Sportsman's Warehouse, retail, the marketplace senior apartments, Carriola, the demand required is 4,119 spaces. So post-development, the property will be in compliance with the town code as it relates to parking. And this was all reviewed and vetted with the town board as required by them as part of the special use permit process. They had to ensure compliance with the parking requirements of the town code. As I mentioned, Carriola has developed a transportation plan, which we provided in our application. One of the key components of this transportation plan is this marketplace is served by public transportation. Carriola employees do use public transportation to get to and from current campuses. They're one on Elmwood Avenue, for instance. You may or may not be familiar, but with the development of the orthopedic center, RTS put in what they call a hub, which is right off of what is known as the mall's north entrance off Island Drive. That is it's a transportation hub. In other words, transfer hub. That's what I wanted to use. So it is served regularly by RTS. So it does provide public transportation for employees and staff of Carriola, and there is pedestrian circulation, pedestrian sidewalks and way from that hub into the Carriola building. So that is one key component of their transportation plan. I did touch briefly on their transportation plan as it relates to the student transportation vehicles. For phase one, they anticipate 45 vehicles, whether it's in the morning for drop off or the afternoon for pickup. And then when you add phase two, that would be another 34 transportation vehicles. So we're looking at around 80 total vehicles, with the peak hour being around 55 vehicles. That will be spread out again between the two entrances, the one on the west and the one in the northeast. Where those vehicles will stack while they are waiting for their opportunity to go to one of the drop-off areas is they will stack on the outer ring road of Miracle Mile Drive. That roadway is 36 feet wide today. It will be striped for what I'll call a clockwise single lane, and two counterclockwise, the outside lanes, with the very outside lane being designated for a standing area for the transportation vehicles between 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. We have reviewed this plan with staff, including the fire marshal, to ensure that the fire marshal is satisfied that if there is transportation vehicles there, that it does not interfere with any emergency response that they may have to the property in itself. The fire marshal was comfortable with the plan, given a couple of things. In that it is a limited situation, both morning and afternoon, but also they have multiple points of access into the mall property, and they also have multiple interior circulation patterns and pathways through the mall property. So that was very important to them, and have been able to address any concerns he had there. As it relates to traffic, we did review this with the town board as part of the coordinated seeker review. What the town board found, along with the Monroe County Department of Transportation and the New York State Department of Transportation, is that the infrastructure that is in place at Jefferson Road, Highland Drive, and West Henrietta Road is adequate and sufficient for the development of the school here for the 450 staff members in the transportation vehicles. We provided an analysis to the town board at that time, which was what would be the trip generation of a commensurate 190,000 square feet of commercial retail space, which at one time was thriving, what all of that infrastructure was installed to accommodate. And the fact of the matter is that Carriola will generate a lower volume peak hour traffic. And both the county and the state provided the town board correspondence, and that they are satisfied with that analysis and with the infrastructure in place. The new construction will be served with new water and sanitary sewer services, but those are going to come from interior utilities that are already on site. There is no need or requirement for any public infrastructure requirements. Stormwater management. This is a redevelopment project as determined or defined by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Marketplace Mall has a very robust in-place stormwater management plan that's been in operation for 45, 50 years now, and is completely functional. We're not aware of concerns. We've reviewed this with staff. We've reviewed it with staff several times over the many times we've been here over various redevelopment proposals at the marketplace. The system, though, is required for the most recent 2024 design manual to address water quality. So we are approaching this the same way that was done when we did the orthopedic center, which is we are providing water quality treatment in 2 locations on the site using alternative measures that are allowed and approved by the DEC, such that we will use the existing infrastructure, the storm sewers, which will discharge the stormwater runoff into the existing pond systems that are at the northeast corner. There is no change in impervious cover on the site with this redevelopment. If anything, there may be a modest decrease in impervious area because we are introducing some interior playground space, but it's nothing that would have any measurable impact on stormwater. As it relates to site lighting, it's the intent that the existing light poles that are there, which are LED fixtures, will remain in place in use. There's no additional parking lot lighting proposed or required. There will be building mounted lighting with the new building, which we'll cover with the architecture. Landscaping, hopefully you had the opportunity to review the Conservation Board memo from their July 7th meeting. We did appear at that meeting. We met with them and had a very good discussion about landscaping. First of all, if you're familiar with the site, there's not a lot there today. But as it relates to Carriola's use, and the Conservation Board looked at this as a true redevelopment project versus new development, and thus the criteria that is associated with new development, i.e. 1 tree per every or 10 spaces and things like that. They approached this from a redevelopment area and truly understood the concern of Carriola, and it was contained in their minutes. Mary Carriola, because of the population they serve, has to be very sensitive to plant materials, and they need to be simple and minimal. They cannot risk having landscaping on site, especially at entryways or around the buildings, that may attract insects, that may have allergens or irritants. These are, with the special needs of these children, it just cannot be risked. And Carriola takes that very seriously. We appreciate the Conservation Board's understanding of that also. In that regards. What we are doing, it gets back to that part when I was talking about the 117 spaces that they do control, that incorporates 4 parking lot islands up at the outer ring road. They are proposing to landscape those with island trees and low grasses, because it is an area that they can put landscaping in. As I previously mentioned, the town board did issued their seeker negative declaration. They did conduct a coordinated review, which we know this board was involved in. I've already mentioned you should have the Conservation Board letter from July 7th with their support for the project. Monroe County Department of Planning did complete their 239M referral as part of the special use permit process. So that is complete. We did just over the weekend receive the Vanguard comments regarding the stormwater pollution prevention plan, and we will address those comments. And finally, we did receive the town staff comments on Friday and did provide written responses back to those this morning. Whether you've had the opportunity to review them or not, the one thing we can say is that we did not see really any issues of concern within those comments. I feel we will be able to address them satisfactorily. I'm now going to have Dave Matthews from SWPR come up, walk you through the building elevations, and then myself, Dave, or Christine can answer any questions, whether it's about the site plan, the architecture, or just Mary Carriola and what they do. Okay?
Great, Peter. Yeah, thank you. And I'll have, if you haven't yet, anybody that's coming up to speak tonight, just can you sign in over by that table there, by the entryway? And if you have a business card, you can leave that with it also. Thank you.
In here? In here? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is David Matthews with SWPR. We are the architect of record for the project. Thanks, Peter, for the introduction. Um, as Peter mentioned, this project is going to be built in two phases. So I wanted to talk a little bit about both. I have a little rendering that I'll share with you. I can pass up along with some perspective materials that we're looking at right now.
Thank you.
The two phases encompass the whole site, and on the north sides adjoin the existing JCPenney building. Share the alley with Floor and Decor, which will remain, and then will abut the prospective University of Rochester partner building. So phase one is, as Peter mentions, about 62,000 square feet, aligning or adjoining with the south side of the existing JCPenney building. We talked to Christine and some of the staff initially about what kind of materials and colors and everything they would want in there. And their one direction to us is we do not want the building to be white. Adjacent AO building and the future U of R has that appearance to it. So I think the establishment of an identity adjacent to it, but not of a similar building type, as we're educational building and that is a medical building. So that was the directive. And with that direction, we looked at a number of different materials and colors, but wanted to concentrate on durability, something that would last a very long time, probably more than our lifetimes, and also hold its color. So we've been looking carefully at potentially two choices. One, a phenolic panel, which I brought with me today, which has a factory baked in color, and then potentially some metal panels. The phenolic actually is on our priority list, I think, just because it's durability. Some of the panels may come down closer to the ground. They would expect it to take some wear and tear more than a metal panel, which might get scratched or densed or have some potential damage. So that's what we're looking at right now. The current color scheme is a variety of blues and grays, and I can pass the rendering up to you so you can take a look.
Thank you.
So this is not set yet, but I think we're headed in that direction, and Christine and the staff seem to like where we're headed with the blue tones and the durability of the panels. As Peter mentioned, this is a one-story building. We're looking at potentially a vertical orientation for the panels, but that's not set in stone. There's some other configurations that we're exploring right now. We're in design developments, and the expected application for a building permit is before the end of the year. So we still have a lot of work to do.
Great, thank you.
There's also a few other materials, some natural stone at the main entry, and some granite to lift the panels off the base, some concrete block to again highlight some durability issues. But the main focus and color of the design are the blue tones and gray tones of the phenolic panels.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else to speak, Peter? Okay, very good. Well, thank you. I think this is gonna be a nice addition to the town. And certainly a wonderful repurposing of Marketplace, the old Marketplace Mall there. I will open it up to the board now, and Mr. Eckert, I will start with you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
So I'm hearing that right? The architecturals are not completed? This is a final plan review approval, right?
And Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning. So my take would be is, for right now, what we have, we can give this an initial review. And if there are changes, then the applicant will have to come back to the planning board to present those changes.
Okay, so we're gonna treat this as though it's final.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Peter, good evening, sir. I know you mentioned, the drainage in the existing system. I saw what looked like a utility pipe coming out of the building northeast, heading to that empty lot. Is that where it ties in existing?
Mhm.
Where that open lot is? And that transfers it back up to the pond or continues the conveyance?
Yeah, correct. If you're that stone area,
Yeah,
yeah, that is. If you were really familiar with the parking lot, that is the location where all the parking lot water goes to. Not another single inlet in that whole corner lot. It all goes there. That's where the inlet is that receives that water and then conveys it to the pond that has the island in it. So we will be conveying our runoff into that same storm sewer system.
yeah, because the parking lot stays the same, everything goes
Correct.
that direction. Yeah,
Yep.
it's always meant to be, an out parcel
Correct,
that just kept
But it-
low.
but it's not going to be one.
Yeah,
Right.
It was supposed to be Chick-fil-A back 8 years ago. Dumpsters. I see, the one on the west side you talked about. Is there also one on the south?
No, the Carriola's dumpsters will be at the west end.
Okay. And those are integrated into the building. There's no enclosure, so I didn't see anything as far as an enclosure goes on the plan.
Correct. It will be while they'll be exterior, they will be a part of the building per se. That's,
So the facade will stay the same.
it'll be gated.
Okay.
It'll be
But at CMU, will it be?
yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. And so nothing again on the south side. There looked like there was some additional,
So, yeah, on the south side, if you're familiar with that area, I'm going to use the term, there's existing infrastructure there. There's a switchgear, transformer, there's a generator there. There's a few things there. They're there in support of the current mall, along with the orthopedic center, and even including Wegmans across the street. So there's a lot of work being done with RG&E right now as it relates to the reconfiguration between RG&E, Carriola, and Wilmerite as to the reconfiguration of those features or facilities
infrastructure.
with no disruption or interruption of service to other.
Well, that's, okay, so that's just what, it's all existing, it's gonna stay.
Correct.
That's good. And then since we're on that side, there's that 60-foot breezeway through
Yeah.
there, that's kind of just been a sidewalk and grass and picnics.
Yep.
Is that to remain?
So it will remain but be repurposed. And Floor and Decor has a 10-foot wide easement along their west wall. So it would be the easternmost 10 feet of that area. Carriola will be purchasing land up to the Carriola lot line, which is the building line. If this board recalls, we re-subdivided out the Floor and Decor building a couple years ago around the building footprint. But they do have that 10-foot easement that is there for access. So that is where the pedestrian way the pedestrian sidewalk will exist to continue to allow people to walk from the north lot along Floor and Decor to the south area of the orthopedic center. That remaining 50 feet will be fenced to be so that it becomes outdoor play area for the children.
Okay,
Okay.
so it'll be outside space, grass, but fence for very careful use.
Correct. Or it may be turf, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it will be an outdoor play surface area.
But fire access too, you're gonna use that as possible egress?
Yes. And Floor and Decor has their egress there also.
Okay, so that'll
Yeah.
just share the sidewalk, that'll remain.
Correct.
Okay, and and then sidewalk will be the remaining feature between the two.
Correct.
Okay. I just didn't want it to be
Yep.
storage,
No,
yeah,
no.
without it, yeah, with it being the egress for Floor and Decor. Let's see. Lighting, you said also, so that's good to know that it's all upgraded to LED and that will all remain as well.
Mhm.
I also put down that I wanted to see some additional landscaping. I understand your presentation and
Mhm.
in agreement with what you have to take a look for the children, so we'll forego that comment. Everything else with stormwater there, so that is existing. That is the extent of my comments, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ecker. The chair will recognize Mrs. Thrill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The only thing I had in addition to what Mr. Eckert did not ask was EV chargers. Are they proposed in a parking area at all?
They're being considered at this time. There are chargers already there that are on the south side, but Carriola is looking at the feasibility of it.
Put in a lot down in the south.
Right, exactly. Mhm.
Okay, so possibility of putting more in.
Right.
And the drawings are absolutely beautiful. So kudos. As I see these with that high gloss, absolutely stunning. But when I look at it, I think of dirty windows, you know what I mean? My windows. How does it have to be maintained to, like salt splashing on them and things like that? It looks like they're gonna be low enough to where the salt can hit it. I just can kind of see white splotches. How are those maintained? You know what I mean?
So there is a base of granite that's going to pull them off of the initial sidewalk, and we're looking at snow melts around the initial entry. So we wouldn't have salt in that area. So that's under consideration. We have a lot of cost considerations to look through, but that's what we're thinking.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much. All set.
Thank you, Mrs. Brill. And Peter, I wanted to mention, I wanted to thank you for submitting the comments today. It's always helpful for us to get those. And I also want to welcome Mr. Barley, Councilman Barley this evening. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. The chair will recognize Mr. Borkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
As usual, Peter, thanks. Very thorough. You have a really good knack for preempting all of my questions. So, as far as all my highlights here, you hit every single one of them. My only holdup is as Mr. Ecker brought up, the architecturals are fantastic, how they look, but we've seen it a few times where if it changes too much, obviously you're gonna have to come back. So
Mhm.
we've already touched on that, but I would encourage you, I understand cost is everything, but I encourage you to make it as close to what you're presenting here because I think it looks fantastic. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Borkowski. The chair will recognize Mr. Liss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
These panels, what's the, I mean, like lifespan, holding their color and
Yeah,
it's gonna look nice when it first goes up and then I'm projecting years down the road, is it going to look as nice?
so that's one of the reasons why I think we're leaning towards the phenolic. It's going to hold its color much more than a metal panel with a paint finish on it would. So we're like 30 to 40 years, I think we'll have that. They will be fastened with exposed fasteners. So if there's some change that's needed down the road, the panels could be changed out, but it will be pretty much beyond my lifetime and you know, a lot of us. So I think that was one of our strongest considerations is we need, if we're going to choose these vibrant colors, we want them to stay like that for as long as possible. And this seems to be one of the best choices we have out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Peter, where's the RTS Transit Center on the site? I know from my own experience, it's across from Wegmans on Highland Drive.
It is.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I'll just right here. Right here.
Right in front of Flora Decor there.
Kind of,
South side,
Kind of.
as you would know, it's kind
So
of like,
there is a dedicated sidewalk from there to the entrance.
yes,
That's it.
because what they'll do is
Yeah.
they'll walk the sidewalk that exists that takes you to the AOC's, what they call their northern entrance, which is
Okay.
near that area we're talking about the facilities. And that links up with the sidewalk that we just talked about that comes between Floor and Decor and the Carriola building. So yes, there is a direct pedestrian path.
And other than the crosswalk that covers, I don't know how, that goes to the entrance, there is no other crosswalk from the parking lot to whatever, to Mary Carriola or even to Penny's or I don't want to go down as far as Flora Decor. I'm just thinking for safety. Because this is it's a very large parking lot. When you're leaving your car and you're walking down, you have to navigate over to that large crosswalk, correct? Or that concrete is that a walkway down the center? From
Yeah, that's a 12-foot wide concrete area that will facilitate the student drop off and pickup, excuse me, but will also be available for staff as they park there or parents. One thing I failed to point out is when that area then gets to the interior ring road at the entrance, that crosswalk will actually be a raised table so that it provides a traffic control, traffic calming area. So actually, we feel very good about the pedestrian mobility and circulation plan we have here because it is about directing them straight to the main access points. And again, I reiterate the fact that as it relates to the students, every student will have a staff member with them. So, so there will be no students, unsupervised, for lack of a better word, that will be coming to or from their transportation.
Just like my last question is concerning the play areas. And they both, there's a large one there at the south.
Yep.
And right.
Mhm.
And then abutting the floor and decor, that corridor there, that's open play area.
Mhm.
How do you account, what will you, like for shading for, if it's,
So, you know what?
holidays?
I'm gonna let Christine answer that.
We have something
Okay.
in plan for the play for that?
Yeah.
So typically, our students kind of follow.
Sorry, could you just announce your name for the record, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Christine Sheffer.
And I'm sorry too, I'm losing my voice.
That's all right. I'll sign in after I'm done. Typically, our students are in groups of 7 students in a classroom, 1 special ed teacher, and 4 other grown-ups, teacher assistants, teacher aides, classroom aides, speech therapists, whoever. So 5 adults for 7 students. So we start with a very high level of staff supervision. And that comes from the fact that many of our students do not have they haven't yet developed a sense of safety awareness. So, you could have some young person in a school elsewhere that would plan to run away and they pack their bag. Our kids may just elope, like, oh, I want to be over there. That looks fun. Oh, look at that truck. So we start with a very high staff to student ratio. We also have some students who in their plan must always have an adult within arm's reach. Because anybody, I can walk down the hall and see if you are. If I say 3 feet or 4 feet or 5 feet, how far is that? So if it's within arm's reach, you can very quickly make sure that staff are following that with the directive. Kids are never alone. We tell our parents, if your student is ever alone, we will call you. And I have done things like called a parent and said, for a minute, he ran into the bathroom and shut the door and there wasn't a grown-up. Parents were like, why are you calling me? Because I told you we would. And that's how we operate. We do have things, honestly, we had, you guys were talking about landscaping. I was thinking about this. We had a student earlier this year at our East Avenue campus. It's on the St. Thomas More property. And he decided he wanted to investigate a bush. He got into, it was an old bush. He got in and couldn't get out. And we couldn't get him out, required calling the Brighton Fire Department to come and safely cut him out of this. So that's why I know I've driven these guys crazy about the landscaping, but that's the kind of stuff that happens that where my passion. It's a beautiful bush. It used to be, it's now cut down at the ground, but he didn't mean any harm. He wasn't trying, nothing terrible was happening. I think we thought he was chasing a fly, but we're not sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Look forward to the project coming to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. List. The chair will recognize Mr. Rutledge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
With the restriping of the perimeter road, it's unclear to me how the two counterclockwise lanes merge back into one.
So it's likely with the university's site plan, that it's likely will be continuously striped all the way around.
Right. And with the elevations, if we are approving anything today, are we assuming a particular material? Are we assuming anything as presented is what's going to be approved? It wasn't really clear which material is being up for approval today. Obviously, it probably will change in the future. But let's say you come back and say, nope, we're going to move forward as is, not make any changes. What exactly are we approving today?
We are approving
So,
the overall project today. With the intent that it's going to be fairly similar to what we're seeing today, but if they substantially change that, they'll need to come back and get approval again. Correct, Chris? Or we do it.
Oh, that's correct, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman. Yeah, so basically, if the colors change or the materials change,
Mhm.
and, we figure that it's significant enough, then what we'll do is bring it in as a discussion item to the planning board.
Thank you.
so we're approving it as either the metal or this material. Either could be implemented, both are approved, or is there one that's being chosen as the primary for this approval?
I think we're approving the project itself, and then the aesthetics will be kind of determined, but I think we're fairly confident it's going to be fairly similar to this.
Understood?
Yes, I'm approving that.
Right.
Yeah, I just, from that picture, it looks like it's all one solid color. From the renderings that were just passed forward, it is a mix of colors on that facade.
Right, but that's what we're approving. That's what was
Okay.
submitted to the public.
Yeah, so if it's different than that, then they'll have to come before the board.
Correct. And I'm assuming again that that is one of those colors. I don't know the other ones that they're
Correct,
looking
look
at,
like it,
but
yeah.
that's one of those four colors.
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's a great question because I was one of the, I theoretically like this better, but that's what we're approving.
Correct.
So, because that's what is submitted. So if this is what you want it to be, then we have to come back here.
Right. Is that okay,
Yeah,
Steve?
so that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
clarity. So what was in those images there is not what's being approved. What's there is what, okay. So I'm all set. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. How long thinking about it, the chair wants to acknowledge Councilman Stafford. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Mr. Martin, any comments from engineering?
No, Mr. Chairman, I am all set.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Young, I know we've got the resolution. Any changes or modifications?
I could, if you, since you talked about architectural, I could make it clear by just putting a condition that needs to be consistent with the application. If you want,
Okay.
we could say architectural design shall be as set forth in the application, and any material divergence therefrom will require approval by the planning board.
Okay, that sounds good.
Fair.
Yeah.
I would agree to.
All right, so if anyone moves the application as written, have it with that additional condition. If you'd like.
Okay. Well, the chair will entertain a motion.
Did we have a public hearing or anything like that on this? Nope. Okay.
We will when there's subdivision,
Mhm.
but not for a second.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve application 26004 with as approved with the drafted resolution and amendments by Don Young.
Thank you, Mr. Ecker.
Second.
Mr. Borkowski, thank you. Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. And depending on the ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for those.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yep,
That's very sharp looking.
it is.
My approval was
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, our next application this evening is number 26-005. Marchioni and Associates Office Project. This is for final site plan approval for the renovation of the existing facility into an 8,500 square foot law office building on 1.48 acres located at 1615 Jefferson Road in a commercial B2 zone district. Just as a point of reference, this is the current Lux Spa at the corner there. And so welcome this evening. Introduce yourself and be happy to hear about the project.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Overhoff with Pastor Associates. We're the engineers for the project. I'm also joined by our client, Monique and John Marchioni with Marchioni and Associates, and as well as Tom Button, who is an architect with Passero. To orient you to the site, it's located at 1615 Jefferson Road on the southeast corner of Winton and Jefferson. The site is on a 1.5 acre parcel within the B2 commercial zoning district. We are proposing the renovation of the northeast entrance of the existing building, which used to be a salon and spa, as you mentioned, to accommodate a law office. Additional site improvements include the milling and repaving of the majority of the existing parking lot, pavement widening to allow for 68 parking spaces, restoration of green space and overpaved areas, the addition of a drive aisle along the northern end of the building, as well as landscaping improvements throughout the site. There are no changes being proposed to the existing curb cuts, the existing utilities, or within the right of way. And with that, I will invite Monique to speak to Marchioni and Associates.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Monique Marchioni, attorney at Marchioni and Associates.
Thank you all.
So a little bit about us. Marchioni and Associates was started in 2005 by John, and we currently have two office locations, one in Brighton Henrietta Office Park, as well as a satellite location in Pittsford near Bushnell's Basin in the Powder Mills Office Park. We have grown substantially over the years. We focus primarily in real estate transactions, commercial and residential, representing buyers, sellers, lenders, and their real estate transactions, as well as we have other areas of practice that complement those clients, such as estate planning and business formation services. So we currently have a staff of 35, and we're growing, but we're out of space. So we are very excited about opening our flagship headquarter location at 1615 Jefferson Road, where we will combine both locations and have one headquarters. So I thank you for considering our application this evening, and we look forward to coming to Henrietta.
Thank you very much.
All right, just to give you a brief history on the entitlements process and the meetings that we've gone to so far. On May 5th, we attended a pre-application meeting with town staff present for initial feedback. And then on June 17th, we made our initial site plan submission to the town planning board. We presented at the July 6th Conservation Board meeting where the project was well received. And the only concern that was brought up at that meeting was in regards to the existing vegetated buffer in the southeast property corner, which our previous layout was reducing. Ultimately, the Conservation Board unanimously voted to approve our recommendation to the Planning Board. A few days ago, we received some minor comments from the town that were very technical in nature. We reviewed them in depth and determined that we will have no issues whatsoever in resolving them. Yesterday, we emailed out a formal comment response letter and began updating the plans accordingly. The most notable change is that we were able to shift the southern row of parking further north, and as well as our limits of disturbance further north, to avoid having any sort of disturbance of the vegetated buffer to the adjacent residential properties, because that was the main concern that came from the Conservation Board meeting. I also wanted to note that we are aware that there is a transitional buffer requirement between our property and the adjacent residential areas. This is an existing nonconformity, as there is currently existing pavement that is already within the buffer. We are proposing 6 parking spaces in the northeast corner of the site that are also within the buffer. However, the town code states that during site plan review, the planning board may decrease the minimum transitional buffer up to the minimum setback requirement, which in this case is 5 feet. So we're requesting that the planning board considers allowing the minimum setback distance to be used for the transitional buffer in this case, since it is an existing nonconformity and that we are no longer disturbing any vegetation within the buffer, and we will be providing a more robust landscaping plan. With that, I'll hand it off to Tom to speak to some of the architectural aspects of the plan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So as you can kind of see from this three-dimensional image here, is that our objective is.
Sorry, could you just say your name into the mic, please?
Oh, yes, I'm Tom Spun from Pastor Associates. Our objective for the building is to maintain most of the existing brick exterior as much as possible. But we want to make a more pronounced and visible street corner presence from Jefferson and Whitten. So we wanted to create this more higher shed roof element with extended canopies to make a more pronounced entry that can be visible from the corner that currently it's hidden from view. If you ever come down that intersection, you can't really see where the entryway is. So we want to create that and highlight that. As far as the remaining exterior, our goal is to kind of create a more rhythm and consistent openings in the exterior, maintaining most of the existing, but making them consistent in size. As far as materials for the building, the idea is that the existing roof is kind of in somewhat of decay, so we want to replace that and put a metal roof on it, something more durable, longer lasting. And any new work where intention is to use probably leaning towards fiber cement at this moment, just like paneling, it would be very minimal areas where we are maybe cutting or removing brick. That is most of what we have as far as the new, it's from what you can see. I can give that a go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. So just to conclude, we are here today seeking conditional site plan approval. And we welcome any comments or feedback that the planning board may have for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Chris, lean on you a little bit here. So I'd like to get this parking thing taken care of. So
So on the south side, that was one of the concerns.
yeah,
But my understanding from the presentation is they're not going to get into that they're not gonna expand the asphalt or pavement in any way. They're just gonna shift the parking up a little bit further to the
yep,
north.
okay,
So it's really what's existing there now, because that area is striped. So they maintain that. So there's no changes to the south at all, is my understanding. No removal of vegetation, things like that. Now, in the upper northeast corner, the transitional buffer does apply. And what I'm looking at is those 6 spaces that are up near the entrance where you first pull in off of Jefferson Road. Now, that's a residential house, hence, even though the zoning is probably very similar, it still requires the 100-foot transitional buffer. However, if the planning board does have the right, per the town code in the section that Cole mentioned, that they can grant relief to that 100-foot transitional buffer to what the minimum side setback is. Now, in this particular case, they're not touching the existing vegetation, the trees and things like that. So the planning board can grant relief in that if they feel that an adequate buffer is provided. Or if it's not, then they can always say, let's add a couple, pine, spruce, or other vegetation to shield it from the property owner to the adjacent residential property.
and we would reduce it to 60,
Well, it could be 5 feet would be the minimum that you could reduce it to, Mr. Chairman, but maybe it's only 7 or 8 feet, which would be enough to put some additional landscaping if
gotcha,
so needed.
okay. Mr. Rucker, do you have any comments on that?
Do we have have we received notification from that resident?
No,
So no other input, or have they been addressed?
no, I'm take that back. we did send notices out, so maybe clarify that statement. As part of the site plan approval, we're not required to send notices out. However, in situations like this, we do. So we did send notices out to the residents that backed up to this facility.
But we don't have any input from that one.
I did not get any, we did not receive any responses except for, one resident.
All right, well, I think it would make sense to reduce it to maybe 8 feet.
Okay.
And I will poll the board here and see what their thoughts are, and then we'll vote on that. But Mr. Eckert, I'll recognize you and get your thoughts on that, please.
I'm not initially for it, and being that they also have some potential land bank or other parking on the northwest side. I'm guessing that's a land banked area.
Correct. It's a land banked area, probably due to the fact that, there's a 20-foot transit, or there's a 20-foot landscape berm or landscaping requirement along the front there. So if they were gonna put the parking into that, then they would require a variance from the zoning board.
But they have all that other grass, there's footage, between there and the curb.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly can't speak for the zoning board, but I would imagine that is that needs to be left.
So, I mean, without talking to the applicant about what kind of pro or con that is, I would rather see that on the east side up front where they have it shown.
Where exactly is that on the, right in there?
Yeah, they're showing 6 or 7 spaces in there.
Oh, thank you, yeah. And that wouldn't affect the fire lane at all?
No,
Okay,
So land bank the stuff to the east that has the, that's in the buffer. And then if that, if it comes to a point where they need that, then I guess that would be, and that might even boost their ability with the zoning if everything else is full and they have to go to that.
okay, that's a good point.
And then maybe that could be the vegetation addition or something along those lines. Again, I'm just talking out loud, and if we were gonna, without hearing from that resident or knowing that they have, I see some vegetation, but I didn't go out and take a look at how deep or if that's deciduous, coniferous, or what they're gonna be dealing with. And the headlights going right into that, whatever part that is of that house. I think the garage is up front. I don't know if there's anything living space there where the headlights would meet. So I'm just a little apprehensive about allowing that with the other spaces available.
Okay.
That would be the side of the garage.
Yeah.
For that house. So you're basically saying what I was thinking, flip the bank spaces to the 6 existing, just flip them?
Right.
Yeah, I'm wondering, can you shed any light as to why it was designed this way, since that's within the,
Yeah, we're hoping to design it as required without the need for any variances. We're hoping to avoid having to go to the zoning board for a variance. That's the why we put land bank, not proposed in the first place. We would definitely love to consider putting additional landscaping between that northeast arc and the residential property. That will be some concerns. But there is that existing wood line up here, so we're not disturbing.
What's the makeup of that existing wood line?
Off the top of my head, I think it's.
Yeah, it looks deciduous.
Shouldn't have a cell.
Yeah.
these are decisions, but this is the side of the.
Yeah.
That's the house. Right. I don't also see a whole lot of vegetation living in even 5 to 8 feet.
Right.
Would a fence?
Short project fence along that different parking area is
Consider that.
Yeah, again, just with the headlights and not knowing what's there, I wonder if that would be, if that's applicable, or do we? Please, sure. Yeah, please come on up. Oh, that's not on your,
Not on your screen? Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Can I ask, based on this proposed design, what is the setback that would be required in order to accommodate that parking? Because that 8 feet doesn't look like that would be enough. 6, okay.
yeah, because they.
Can I chime in, Mr. Chairman?
yes, Mr. Wojciechowski.
There's a couple things here. I am in complete agreement with Mr. Eckert on this. There's a couple things going on. One, I love what you guys are trying to do here. I'm a fan of the whole thing. But not only is that parking problematic, do we need that parking in order to get minimum parking?
No.
No, it's not even for the minimum parking, but the client was hoping to keep this site flexible.
We need space for that for our growth.
Yeah.
We currently have, oh, hello.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah, hold on 1 second till we get this thing.
For the employees. And we're making. So we close a lot of transactions, real estate. We have 5 closings that are taking place at an existing time. So if you envision bank attorney, seller's attorney, buyer's attorney, client, our biggest limitation would be the parking. Hence the need to increase the parking. Or we're back to where we were square one, having another satellite office and not one office where we all could work together. So that was the whole purpose of purchasing this property, because it was 1.4 acres, which in an ideal location for us, and we felt that it would satisfy the needs of not only our clients, but our employees. So that helped out.
Yeah, and I completely understand your plight there. But we do have those. So once again, I also look for continuity here. And when you add those, it's not just so close to the neighbor's house. The continuity's gone. You're literally putting in this little swath of land where I understand it takes a variance to put it there. But maybe what you do is you build this without those, go and get the variance. I can't assume that they wouldn't give it to you in order to do that, but we could approve it without that, and then you can go after, right?
What about in lieu of a privacy fence or just additional landscaping shown? Is that something that the board would be amicable to?
Chris, can I ask you a question? So currently, right now, it doesn't look like there's 100 feet there. I mean, so we're talking about bringing it down to the applicant saying 6 feet. What is it currently?
Yeah, so currently, I mean, you're right, the 100 feet, it's a pre-existing non-conforming where the existing pavement is. It's where the new
Right.
pavement is where we have the concern with the transitional buffer. So,
So I guess that's a big question. Look, what is the setback right now with non-conformity? Do we know?
Yeah, it's closer to like 12 feet.
Oh.
So it's already an existing nonconformity.
Right. So,
Yeah.
well, that's a good thing to know, because keep in mind, I'm just doing the math, and we're going from 100 to 5 feet.
What are you asking?
No, we're actually going 12 to 6.
Depends on where you're asking to. Are you asking just in that little?
Yeah, that's all we're talking about. This northeast section up here. That little semicircle that's happening.
proximities where our main entrance is going to be.
Yeah.
So those spots are important.
Yeah. I guess something important is just the fact that right now there is no 100 foot setback. It's more like 12.
Yeah.
So really, we're talking about reducing 12 to 6. That's a huge difference than 100 to 6. So, okay, that loosens me up a little bit. I still don't like how it doesn't, sorry to use the word conform. It is not consistent with the rest of the look of the thing, but then again, that's topographical. Okay, I feel better about going from 12 to 6 than 100 to 6. That's fine.
Just for clarity, I mean, I'm going with accuracy of what I'm doing with GIS here, but I've got 30 feet from what looks like the edge of pavement to the property line, just south of the right of way. It gets better, but yeah, I understand your point. We're not trying to get from 100 to.
Right. And you can tell it's not 100.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, okay,
Is there-
that's all I had for,
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Record,
20.6 feet or
There's a measurement there?
up near the entrance, yes.
so would we be able to put that there with 8 foot setback to put more vegetation in, or a fence, or?
I'm okay with a fence at 5. I mean, I don't even know if you can get much to grow at 8. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Spots instead of 6.
I'd be more,
inclined.
yeah, thank you. I'd be more inclined to approve 5 foot with a fence. Or, right, unless the applicant wants to pick vegetation in place.
Yeah, I do agree with that too.
I don't know where they're gonna put the snow.
And then, well, once again, that is a garage there too. But even look at the satellite view, I can see that there are spaces that go right into that person's property. Fence would take care of it. We're already at 20 something feet. So if we put it down to 6 or 5 with the fence, I would be okay with
They're asking for 5.
You're asking for 6, right?
Well, I mean, again, I think right now it's what, 6 feet? Lou? Is
Yeah.
that what it looks like? It's not dimension, but you know, scaling it probably 6-ish. It's okay.
You know,
Okay.
does the applicant know what that distance is you're requesting?
It's like 6.2 feet.
6.2,
Right.
so 6, we can say.
Right.
Okay, so the rest, they're asking for a reduction up to 6.
And we can make a contingent on a fence.
A 6 foot is probably fine. You don't need to be 8 at a side, plus I don't want to get into side stuff. Can we do 6 on a side? Sure.
Yeah, and I don't want to hold this up with the variance. I mean, it would be much nicer to have that at the top, but
Right.
I also don't
And
want to.
solid, so whether it's white vinyl or double slatted, I guess I'm fine with 2.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna poll the board here, on this topic right now. Get your feelings on that, and then we'll take a vote on that, okay? So, Mr. Eckert, sounds like you're in favor of a 6 foot, I'm sorry, 5 foot,
Nope, 6 foot.
I'm sorry, 6 foot,
With a fence.
yep,
Starting at
buffer
the
with a fence.
upper right east corner of the extension to the parking, going down one.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'm gonna get this down. All right. You're talking about just.
He's just polling right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I want to hear what you're saying, so.
Yep.
you know the point.
So I'm okay with approving the 6 foot, up to the 6 foot, setback with a fence, solid.
6 foot fence?
Yep. Starting at the northeast corner of the additional parking. And continuing south, 1, 2, 3, you know, whatever would be the south line of the 4th space. Can radial out.
Good.
That would get
That protects the
past the
property.
house. I mean, that's to the south facade of the house, and and then the vehicle's pointing south. There are some more vegetation there. I don't know exactly if the, yeah, that's the close proximity.
Okay,
Got a quick question. The bank of parking just further south of that. It looks like a little corner is being added. And that goes right up to the property line. How does that fit into this? That's not
Oh,
5 feet.
I see what you're saying. This one right here.
Yeah, is that part of the request?
Yeah, once again, that the existing vegetation is being preserved. I wanted to say that the existing pavement is extending that far and that we're removing it. If you toggle to the demo plan. See, if you look at the demolition plan, the existing pavement goes, you know, up as close as 1 foot away from the property line. That drive aisle.
So you're basically putting that in exactly as it is already.
Right.
Okay.
okay, so Mr. Eckert, you're good with the 6 foot buffer, 6 foot fence?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Bro?
I'm still a little confused, if someone that designed it can help me understand. So, Luke, can you go back to the other, there? So we have the land bank in closer to, exactly.
Mhm.
So they're not getting built yet. But they can get built without any.
They would need,
variance, right?
no, they would require a variance due to it being within the landscape mall. We're just showing them there and almost as an emergency if it were to be needed, but we would need to come to the zoning board to get a variance if those were to get built.
Yeah.
It'd be an easier hurdle, I think, with zoning.
What's that?
I think it'd be an easier hurdle on that one, being that it doesn't affect residents.
Okay.
There's still a lot of green space between the property line and the right of way.
That would be now or later, they would have to go to the zoning board of 3.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of the fence over plants. My concern for fences all the time are what type of composite are they gonna be made of? Because some of the wooden ones need more maintenance and things like that over time. Being a law office, I'm assuming you'd have the utmost, landscape care going on and you would take care of the anything that would start falling down. I'm wording that incorrectly, but I think you get it. So I am in favor of the fence. Thank you for clarifying the rest of it for me. I hope you grow enough to where you have to use that eventually. So, I am okay with that. Thank you.
Yeah, just regarding the fence, you might remember when that Tim Hortons went up on East Henrietta Road,
Oh, yeah.
and we had that property owner right next door, and we put that long, I'm assuming it's similar fence, right down that drive-through lane there.
Mhm.
Remember that? Yeah.
But it keeps slowing down and
Yeah, it looks terrible.
people keep driving through it. It's been down more than it's.
Oh, is that right? I
So
didn't know.
that's
It's-
kind of what I'm
Okay,
thinking.
so,
Yeah.
well, obviously they're gonna,
So nothing like that kind of fence. I would think it would have to be more of a architectural.
Yeah.
appeal.
Mr. Borkowski, your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I think overall it's a good plan. I still think that little section's a little weird, but I also understand why you're kind of stuck doing it. So I wouldn't hold that up. I'm totally good with the 6 foot buffer with at least a 6 foot fence.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis?
I mean, all right, the 6 foot buffer and
Setback.
I don't know. I don't know if a fence is necessary. I think landscaping would be sufficient in my mind.
Landscape
Fence-
takes up more space though. That's why
Hmm?
the landscape is wider, so it's harder to work with the landscaping, which is why we brought up the fence.
Yeah.
If the applicant is amenable to fencing, then.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Rutledge?
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's fine. And honestly, to the point of the headlights, the existing parking already points directly at that house, so
Yeah.
fence is perfectly adequate.
Okay, very good. Okay, so the chair will entertain a motion to reduce the buffer to 6 feet. I'm sorry. Yes,
My suggestion is let's add it into the resolution.
add it to the resolution?
Yeah, I've been writing it as you've been talking.
Okay,
Perfect, yeah.
okay, very good. All right, so that'll be part of our final. All right,
Well, now that we've polled, I mean, again, is that okay for the applicant? Is there a motivation more for landscaping than the fencing? If you, yeah, right up to the microphone, please, sir. Thank you.
Listen, we just filed a plan approved. So what if you guys feel the fence would be better for the town, we're fine with it.
We're fine accepting landscaping in lieu, but I don't, again, we think it might be harder for you to maintain that in that small space.
That's
The
fine.
fence could go, I think, right on the property line here, and that would give you still a couple of feet for snow storage, grass,
Alright.
whatever. You could still landscape it low-wise, and
Not fine with the fence.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Okay, so we've got that taken care of. So, Mr. Rutledge, I will start with you, sir. Recognize, pardon me?
Can I read back what I?
Oh, sure, yes.
So, first of all, as it relates to, I think it's already in the resolution, but just to be clear, as it relates to the land bank parking in the landscape mall area, a variance shall be required to construct the same. A note shall be added to the map indicating the same. In other words, if they move forward with the land bank to the northwest, they would need to get there, build that since they do the buffer.
Okay.
I think that's already in the draft resolution at number 2. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 3, I don't know what shows up in the draft resolution. It's kind of been, changing over the last 24 hours, but here's what I have down now. So as it relates to the parking areas to the east and south of the site along the residential zone boundaries, the parking areas there shall be permitted only to the extent they remain within the existing bounds of the pre-existing parking area there already in existence. The parking area shall not further encroach upon the setbacks to the east and west, except as expressly permitted herein relative to the 6 parking spaces to the northeast. Plans shall be revised accordingly. And then we have a resolve paragraph being added, which says this: resolve that the transitional buffer to the east property line shall be reduced to 6 feet, conditioned upon the installation and maintenance of a 6-foot-high fence beginning at the north side of the parking space to the northeast close to the Jefferson Road, and extending along the edge of pavement of the parking spaces to the northeast, terminating at the last parking spot of the northeast parking space cluster. All given that such transitional buffer is consistent with the character of the existing paved area to the east and south of the property, and given that the addition of the fence will have to create additional visual buffering preserving visual compatibility.
It was great.
I have two comments. One is it doesn't need to be against the pavement. It can be along the property line.
Extending along
Which would help snow storage.
an area between property line and the
Perfect.
There you go.
Would you mind please clarifying the expense of the fence?
Yeah.
Because I thought at one point.
That was
it
my
was-
second question.
Where do you want it to begin? Point me on the map, and then I can describe it.
Northeast corner of,
So are we talking here
Yep.
and around, like curving around it?
no, I was going right from that point directly down. So this fourth space,
Yep.
right where the number 6 is, that southern pavement marking radial continuing to the property line.
So it's the northeast.
But it would be a
corner.
curved fence or straight fence?
Right, it can
Yeah,
be,
that's-
again, as he's described, anything between the property line and the parking. They can curve it if they want, or keep it along the property line and leave it straight.
And this is the parking space closest to Jefferson Road. Let me just see.
Right there, yeah.
All messed up.
Yeah, it's computer. But yes,
And Mr. Young, would you want to put a comment in there that the fence material and design is per the approval of the Director of Engineering and Planning?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Correct.
heading along, terminating at the what parking spot? The fourth?
southern border of the fourth parking spot.
Should we say minimum?
At minimum.
And you guys can see that where you're sitting?
Yes. Okay. 6 foot high fence. Did you want to?
Solid.
Okay, solid fence?
Yep.
Okay.
And for your,
Split
and for
rail.
your purposes as applicant,
Slide.
you could make that longer. It's just got to be a minimum of that. So if it's aesthetically more pleasing to make it longer, then yeah.
And that fence being there is otherwise would be called compliant. The area is probably not, I'm assuming.
Those are my two comments from that verbiage. Was that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to everybody?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Young?
Think so.
Yeah, okay.
You tell me.
Yes, I agree. I'm good. with it. You want to read it again or you good?
If you want to endure the pain of it, sure.
No.
Here, I'll read it. Okay, so here's what I got now. The result, so we're adding, remember, the conditions say you need to stay within the existing bounds to the south and east, except for this. So all the rest of it south of there, including this section, which I think they're saying is within the existing bounds.
Correct.
Needs to stay within the existing bounds. Resolved that the transitional buffer to the east property line shall be reduced to 6 feet. Conditioned upon the installation and maintenance of a 6-foot high solid fence beginning at the northeast corner of the parking space on the east property line closest to Jefferson Road and extending south therefrom along the area between the property line and the edge of pavement of the parking spaces to the northeast, terminating at the southern end of the fourth parking spot of the northeast parking space cluster. All given that such transitional buffer is consistent with the character of the existing paved area to the east and south of the property, and given that the addition of the fence will act to create additional visual buffering, preserving visual compatibility.
Only thing I didn't hear is minimum fence.
Yeah.
Because we want an option to make it longer.
Minimum of to the southernmost part of the fourth spot.
Okay, I will add minimum.
Other than that, everything was great.
With that being said, I motion 26-005 as per resolution and amendment set forth.
We haven't gone through.
No, we haven't, yeah.
Discussion.
I'm so excited. though. I'm just
So
waiting.
if Mr. Young is set, I was going to go to this end and recognize Mr. Rutledge, and you can go through the comments and any questions or concerns you have.
Just had a question from Monique. I'm just waiting to ask her.
I don't have any additional.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rutledge. Chair will recognize Mr. List.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're
I
welcome.
am all set with this plan. I was just wondering what happened to Lux? You bought them out, or did they go someplace?
down the street.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chair will recognize Mr. Borkowski.
I'm all set, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Very good. Chair will recognize Mrs. Brill.
How long do I have to use my gift card?
I don't know.
Everything that I had marked up
All
has
set.
been addressed. Thank
Very
you.
good. Chair will recognize Mr. Eckert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have a couple additional questions. Water from the site stormwater, moves where? Existing catch basins are there. Where does it tie in? Do we know?
Under existing conditions, there are no on-site catch basins. Everything sheet flows into the right of way and then is caught by
Everything. So,
everything.
okay, so we're not increasing any other impervious to, or any other water drainage to the residents.
Correct.
Okay. And that additional parking lot, I didn't check the grading, that slopes again back west or north. The new
Yes.
parking lot that's going in.
Correct.
Okay. The dumpster enclosure.
Yep.
I see it. Is it 6 foot tall?
The
Is that what I,
existing one, based on site photos and site visits, yeah, it looks, I believe it's about 6 foot tall. It's relatively,
that's what's proposed?
but that's what's the existing, I'm saying. The proposed is what's here in the detail.
Thought that said 6, right? Yeah,
I believe there was, one of the engineering comments we received had to do with the dumpster, but that was, it was a pretty technical comment that just was a dimension clarification that we will address when we address all the comments
okay.
officially.
And 6 foot's fine. We normally require 8, but they can be lower as long as the dumpster sits below the enclosure.
Right.
And I think it was even one of the pre-discussions that we're not even sure they needed one. But it was the shredding or the paper, which was more of a, right, if that goes away, that goes away fine. But-
Yeah, it's an ad alternate. on the
Okay.
plans.
Lighting, any additional site lights? Do we have,
There are 2 existing light poles that have to be slightly relocated due to them, if they were kept in place, they'd be in where areas that are new pavement, so they had to be moved a few feet, just relocated. Not closer to the right of way, so there should be no concerns about spillage. So, and then-
those, are they, so they're just gonna be relocated, not updated?
can you repeat the question, please?
Are they gonna be upgraded, new LEDs, or are you gonna put new fixtures up? Is that on the plan?
They can be added if it's not. I think that was once again probably in the town engineer comments we received.
Yes, it is.
It's on the plan?
No, it's my comments.
All right, then Luke, why don't you help me out with, on the screen there and show me where the existing 2 are? Yep. Good, okay. So where are they being, so the one up north is being moved where?
Those are the relocated, those are the areas where they're being proposed, which are very close to the existing locations.
And so then what's the height of the pole existing?
I want to say 14 feet.
Okay. Are we dealing same with post tops or are they just post tops on 14s?
Correct. I believe that sounds correct.
Okay, so I'm in agreement with the relocations of the 14, of post tops on 14s. They gotta go 20 or if something changes, obviously that's a change to the plan.
And a landscaping plan will be, or lighting plan will be required as well.
The lighting plan will
With a
be.
com check.
And a com check. But with a 2 to 2, that should be pretty easy. It's not a lot. Yeah, we just want to make sure there's no other light spillage, especially with the residents next door. Okay. And that's the extent of my comments, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Eckert.
I have received a request to speak publicly. Is that allowed for the public?
Typically, no.
Okay.
But the chairman does have the option to let residents speak if they want to.
Yeah,
We don't do that very often, but it has been done in the past.
yeah, okay. Well, I'll entertain it tonight.
Never mind, go ahead.
Typically, no, but I'll entertain it tonight. So who,
Chairman, it might be good to stick to protocol and
yeah, okay.
do whatever we would normally do.
All right, Mr. Young, thank you. Then we won't. Let's see, Mrs. Brill?
I am set, thank you.
Yep.
Unless you want me to go ahead. and
Yeah,
just
you can
take you-
jump right in now. It's, yeah.
As per the resolution and any amendments set forth, I submit a motion for 26-005. Thank you.
Very good.
And just to make sure, I don't know if I read this correctly, but the boundaries we were talking about staying within the existing bounds are east and south boundaries. I may have been east and west before, but I just want to make sure.
East and south. Okay.
You did, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, you said so.
All right. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Mr. List?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. List. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you. All right, congratulations. We'll look forward to
Thank you very much.
your project.
Thanks for bringing it to Henrietta.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Next application this evening is application number 26-006, Raising Cane's Restaurant. This is for final site plan approval of a new 3,475 square foot restaurant with a drive-through, associated parking, and outdoor seating located at 823 Jefferson Road in an industrial zone district. Good evening.
Good evening. For the record, I'm Karen Majanowski with Bowler Engineering, and I'll go down the line here, join with Jerry Goldman, land use attorney for the project, Nan Weisel, who is the project manager on behalf of Raising Cane's, and Frank Imburgia, who is the landowner.
What was your first name again? I'm sorry.
Karen, Caryn.
Thank you.
I can leave a card as well.
And did you sign in, Karen?
And I signed
Yep, great.
in.
Thank you. Okay, perfect.
So we're here this evening to discuss the proposed project at 823 Jefferson Road. This is an overall aerial outlined in white so that you can see context of where this project is going. We are proposing approximately a 1.2 acre lease parcel along the frontage of Jefferson Road. So on the right of the boundary at the intersection with Jefferson and Clay Road, you'll see the Shake Shack building that's there. And then on the other side of us to the left or west is the Panera Bread. If we want to flip to maybe a couple slides to this is just a zoom in of the parcel, and then maybe one more to a rendered site plan. There we go. So this shows the proposed project, which is a 3,475 plus or minus square foot Raising Cane's restaurant with drive-through. You can see Jefferson Road is at the top of this plan, and I'll go through a little history of the project as well, and then get into more site-specific details and architecture. The property itself is currently served with an access to Jefferson Road, which is just off the left of our proposed development here, as well as access to Clay Road. Those will remain, and we're not proposing any new access points to Jefferson Road. This will utilize those. Because of the use, we did need a special use permit, so we met with the town board a few months ago and obtained our special use permit, and they did seeker at that time as well. From there, we received a determination from the town that our canopies, which are dashed boxes essentially over the drive-through pickup area and order point, would need to meet the required front yard setback. So rather than the building itself, these canopy overhangs were determined that they would need a variance since they did not meet the required front yard setback. But what we did when we designed the site was the building setback itself, which is mainly what you'll see. It's the bulk of the project, is in line and meets the front yard setback. So as you're driving down the road, it'll be at a similar setback to Shake Shack and Panera Bread on either side of us. We did meet with the zoning board and did obtain the set area variance for the setback for the canopies. And then from there, we got to work kind of on everything else. So at the same time, we put a lot of work and thought in both the architecture and the signage for the project. So we did return to the zoning board to discuss signs last month, and we did obtain variances for the signage, which you'll see when we get to the architectural elevations in a bit. We also met with the conservation board last month and received a positive recommendation for approval to this board. They were pleased with the amount of landscaping that we have that you can see. We really went through the code and the requirements. We have a whole sheet just with a table showing those as far as what's required and what we're doing. This shows all of the proposed landscaping, and then it doesn't show up too well, but the street trees that are out front, we'll be keeping those as well. So we do have existing sidewalks along the frontage. We are proposing a connection to those sidewalks. Initially, as part of this project, when we were looking at it, we did have a row of parking along what I'll call the front, along the drive-through itself. And we removed that through the course of the project and swung some parking around the left side of the plan. On the lease parcel itself, we have 32 parking spaces. We have 21 along what I'll call the back of the building, the bottom of the plan, and then 11 more. This is part of the overall plaza for all intents and purposes, but if you were to just look at the scope of this project as far as the code for parking, it would need those 32 spaces. So while we have cross-access parking, all those types of agreements, we are accommodating that parking here. I'm not sure if anyone's very familiar with Raising Cane's restaurants. They're not in this area yet, so you could be one of the first. They serve lunch and dinner. They are pretty much 75% of their business is through the drive-through. They have a very focused menu with 5 menu items. It's just a combination of whatever you order on that menu, which allows them to have quicker service. So from point of order to pickup, you might see about 2.5 minutes. So stacking is never really a concern, and backup, you might get that initial honeymoon rush of excitement when it does open, and they have a whole team who's used to that. They have about 1,000 locations. They've seen it before, and they'll have plans in place to manage that. I think for this particular location, we have a huge benefit. There's an underutilized portion of the parking lot and access aisles there. So where you might have a typical standalone parcel that's isolated, this does have the benefit of accommodating that. We did submit traffic numbers to you as part of the package, and there's really no concerns there as far as that goes. The restaurant will have 50 seats inside and about 35 patio seats. As far as stacking, the inner lane will have about 13 spaces. They do have a second lane that they open as needed. There's always employees observing that and seeing if that needs to be utilized as well. If we want to flip to the architecture, we could take a look at that next. So this shows all 4 sides of the building that have been architecturally enhanced, since they are generally visible around a 360 of this site. So the top elevation is called the front elevation, and that's the one, the front entry. That's what will face Panera. So you can see the entry door there, as well as the patio, and then the drive-through canopy that we discussed earlier, which is closest to the Jefferson Road side. The materials itself are a combination of primarily brick and ephes with varying colors and tones to really help break that up. One of the comments we did get the various comment letters Friday prior to today. was rooftop units and screening. So this accounts for that. They'll build up a parapet screening with those same materials to screen the HVAC, which is on the roof. Moving down, the side entry is what will face the rest of the plaza. So where your 21 row of parks are, and people would be entering is the side entry that you'll see. The rear, again, this is dressed up, but this is what will face Shake Shack. And then finally the drive-through side, which is what would face Jefferson Road as you're driving. We feel that we can address and work with the various departments on the comment letters that we did receive as far as a technical standpoint. So if the board were comfortable moving forward this evening, we would be okay with a conditional approval to work on those items. But with that, I will turn it back over to the board for any comments and questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. What would the hours be of the restaurant? Like 10 to 10 or something like that?
The proposed hours are Sunday through Thursday, 10 to 1:30, and then Friday, Saturday, 10 to 3:30. They like to cater to people and be available for whether it's emergency or medical staff who might be working later. And as I mentioned, it is lunch and dinner.
Yeah, okay. And roughly how many employees?
So there's about 13 per shift.
Oh, all right. Very good. Okay, well, the chair will recognize Mr. Rutledge.
I don't think I have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Chair will recognize Mr. List.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
It's not a good time to be a chicken on Jefferson Road. Between Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, and Dave's Hot Chicken. That's a tough spot. I really don't have, I'm looking forward to the project. The lanes, that looks like a pretty busy takeout lane, right? The pickup lane. There's 3 of them.
There's 2.
2,
It opens up into a bypass.
but then you're making a left turn at the end. You're making a left turn coming out. Correct?
Correct.
Parking lot. Is this a familiar layout for Raising Cane's in other areas that you're?
It's very familiar. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can anticipate a pretty busy opening for the first few months.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I know my daughter tells me about Raising Cane's in other places where there are lines going out, and it's a very busy place. I look forward to it. Thank you. I'm all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. List. Chair will recognize Mr. Borkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Just one thing. So, in general, when we're talking about final, we like to see the actual building materials. However, is there something amazingly different about this, or is it pretty standard to other Raising Cane's? I know you mentioned this might be one of the first in the area, or one of the first in the area. Is there anything that's different about this than ones that we've done in the past?
This is treatment that they've used before.
Okay.
So it's not substantially different than what
Okay,
they've
good.
done in the past. So you might.
And I personally wouldn't hold this up over building materials, but for final, we really like to see that just for future reference. And because we have other ones that you've done, we can kind of go back and look at that. So I'm okay with that, but no questions other than that.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Mr. Borkowski. Real quick, where's the nearest one to us right now?
Central Pennsylvania would be
Central
the
PA.
closest. Yeah.
Okay. And they're based where?
They started in Louisiana and primarily based in Texas now.
In Texas?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, good, thank you. Chair will recognize Mrs. Brill.
Thank you. I know every time we go on vacation and there's one, we have to go into it. So kids are very excited. I have no additional questions, though. This design is beautiful. Looks like there's a lot of maintenance there. So, Frank, you're all over that, right? That's beautiful. So looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Brill. Chair will recognize Mr. Ecker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Can you go into the drainage for me? I see that there is a stormwater basin treatment center, right? Then it traverses.
If we show this, we can go to the plans too, either
Go to
way.
utilities.
I can
Absolutely,
explain it
that's
on
fine.
the site plan render too.
The existing plaza has chamber system, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was set up to account for this. There was previously a larger scale project proposed here.
Yeah.
So we're really reducing impervious with this project and adding green, which is good. On top of that, we do have a stormwater planter in the green space, behind the rear of the building. That will handle that there, exactly. That will mostly handle roof water runoff. And then as far as the rest of it, it was, as I mentioned, set up to handle this. So we have a series of catch basins and pipes around the perimeter that eventually flow to the bottom right of the sheet where it ties into the rest of the system with the
Yeah, it
bottom.
goes into a manhole there, but does that take it to the chamber system?
It does.
Okay. Can you zoom in on that? Yeah, so that can, the existing one, yeah, okay, so that existing the manhole on the right side there, Luke. Yep, so that's where you're tying in, and then that just takes it back west.
Back west, yep.
Because there's this pipe coming out of that to the north. That's what I was confused is what that is showing.
Oh, the existing pipe that's there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that goes to a structure up north closer to the road.
so that just takes more drainage from someplace else into
I
that.
think it's a very limited green space area.
Okay, and that's fine. As long as it's coming in.
Correct.
I didn't see where. it
It's
was
not
going
heading
to, what the-
towards Jefferson
so
Road,
it's taking everything in and taking it into.
toward the site.
Okay.
Correct.
So there's no concerns with the dumpster enclosure draining freely into that chamber system?
No, there's not.
Okay, all the oils and dirt and garbage that's gonna go down into that inlet.
No,
Okay,
no, we have ultimately a treatment unit at the end of ours before it goes to the rest of the system.
I thought the treatment's prior to the enclosure, right?
The stormwater planter is.
Yeah.
There's treatment in one of the structures as well.
Oh, there's a storm chamber or something?
Yes.
Hey, Frank.
Greg, they actually have run a water line out to the dumpster enclosure and they wash all the trash cans.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's going to like a vortex unit? I didn't see that, if that's what's showing. There's a chamber, there's a treatment in the manhole?
Correct.
Can you show me that, Lucas?
The one off to the side. That one. Not the, that's a solid
That's
grade.
existing, gotta be more to the west, right?
This.
Oh, that's showing as an existing man. Okay, so that's gonna be a storm. That's gonna be like a vortex system.
Correct.
Oh, okay, so there's another treatment center, okay.
when we originally did the chamber system, we sized that for 16,000 square feet with multiple tenants and multiple restaurants.
Yeah, the water flow, the
Yeah.
quantity is good. I was just kind of like getting into the quality. And so that's what you're gonna wanna pre-flush before all that, I think, gets into your chamber system. Especially if they're cleaning off all the dumpsters and stuff there, you just didn't want that in your chambers. I wouldn't think, but I don't know what the DEC requires on that kind of a connection. So, yeah, the quantity was good. The quality is what I was questioning. The connection to Shake Shack came out?
So we're proposing, this was based on the special use permit review feedback. The hatched dark gray area just south of the manhole, we were actually just looking at, it's a requirement for the landowner to provide emergency cross access to
Okay.
Shake Shack.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
gonna
what
be,
that is.
from what I understand from the supervisor, mountable curb in a paved area.
Over and then
Milled or paved, okay. Lighting, I see the lighting plan in your, is there a com check?
that will be provided, that's okay, that's okay by us being a condition of approval. We did see that in one of the letters, and that can be submitted.
Yeah, but I'm looking to see to make sure that you're in compliance because you're off. It's one property, but you're putting lights outside of that. And I'm looking at light spillage on all areas.
Okay, we can provide the comp check and account for that as well.
Okay. And I got a note here. I don't know if this was a copy over height of the dumpster pad. What was this dumpster? Is this 6 foot as well?
This is 10 foot tall and it's
Okay.
made of Trex.
It's Trex?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I saw 10 and thought that was high.
Very high.
It's because there's a compactor in there.
Okay.
We want to screen everything.
Okay. My only other question still just are outlining on the lighting.
I'm sorry,
I don't have answers to the questions on the lighting. We need the comp check and what's for the lighting plan. Is there additional lighting on the building as well?
There is some lighting on the
Okay.
building.
Was that added into the isometrics?
It is just focused on the light poles for
Just the
now.
poles.
And we did account for the plaza lighting that's already there when we ran that.
Oh, you did?
We did,
Oh, okay. Not just your new stuff.
correct.
Okay, then that makes, okay, I'm warm and fuzzy with that as long as I see a comp check. So that's the extent of my comments. Thank you.
okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Eckert. Mr. Martin, anything from engineering?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm all set. I was gonna ask the name of the company, Kane, is actually the dog's name. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
Is there a longer story behind that or?
So the owner had the original dog and we're actually on to Kane's 3. So adding a number each time there's a new dog. Unfortunately, dogs don't stay with us.
Unfortunately, they don't. Thank you. That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Mr. Young, anything, sir? I know the resolution was going to read somewhat as an amendment to the prior plan, right? That the full site, is that what we're going to include in that?
Yes, let me pull that out. Yeah, so nothing additional to the comments I distributed and
Okay.
per our talk with the engineer yesterday, I did add in the fact that this is basically going to be considered to be a part of the plaza site plan, but it's only applicable to this area of plaza. And then we also included a condition that the development and operation needs to comply with the site management plan associated with the property in connection with the DEC required remediation of the property.
Okay. Very good. Now the chair will entertain a motion.
I had one more question, sorry.
Yes, Mr. Rutledge, go ahead.
On the drive-through elevation, the large rectangular sign, is that a fixed sign or is that just a placeholder for various banners or promotional materials?
That is fixed.
Thank you.
All set?
Mr. Chairman, one thing, as it relates to the corrective management, the CMP and the DEC, please note that I'm the one, the responsible party for that and have been maintaining that since we've redeveloped this parcel. That's not on Kane, that's on me.
Okay.
It's going to be a condition of the resolution because it's being developed and it needs to comply with the SMP.
Yep, okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, shall I entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve the application for Raising Cane's per the drafted resolution for Mr. Young.
Thank you, Mr. Eckert. May I get a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yep.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome to Henrietta.
Congrats. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, very much so.
Hope it's done for next year's National Chicken Finger.
Chicken Finger Road.
That's line 27.
Yeah. Butter in the way.
Chicken Finger Day.
That's what it said.
That's really funny. Chuck Norris is there.
Let me ask, does anybody need a break?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Crank it. Finish it off.
What's that?
Finish it off.
Wow, throw through. Okay, next item on the agenda, application number PB 329.2B, Lehigh Ridge subdivision, section 2B. This is for final subdivision approval for 8 single-family lots, 3.48 acres located off of Authors Avenue, to be known as, Mrs. Brill said Dummer Boy Circle, but I think it's Drummer, correct? Yes. In a residential R115 zone district. Good evening. Welcome
My name
back.
is James Creedicos. I'm with BME Associates. Here with me this evening is Bruce Howlett and Paul Egan from Learwood Estates. They're the applicant and developers.
Good evening, everybody.
I just want to make one quick correction. This is a 10 lot subdivision, not 8. That is incorrect on the.
What is it? I'm sorry.
10 lots.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, this section originally was planned to be developed with section 2. However, when we came through that process, we broke this off. So this is kind of section 2B. It's just kind of the little infill portion. This is going to connect directly to Authors Ave that we constructed with section 2. So you can kind of see it's the central 10 lots that are a little bit darker color right there. So this sits just south of the overhead power line easement to the north of it. And it does have the 2 high pressure gas mains in the southern portion of all those lots in the rear. And then the open space basically encompasses around the lots. This is about 3.4 acres. We're going to be disturbing pretty much the whole thing, about 3 acres with that. We're not going to be messing with the gas main easement areas. Those are going to stay as they are today. This section originally was going to be a private drive. However, when we went through some recent conversations with town staff, we are looking to dedicate this road now, and through conversations with the planning and building department, they're going to accept a 50-foot road with. There was some commentary that we received from town comments last week regarding fire width. We are going to widen the road to provide the 26-foot requested fire access road as opposed to the 25 that we did have on the submittal set. The other things to note are we did subdivide out the open space areas with section 2. However, I don't believe they've been dedicated to the town as of yet. So that will be something that we would be looking to do, although there is a little bit of development in the central area where that turnaround is. So that's still under our control at the time. But I think once we get through this phase of the development, we would be looking to dedicate those and turn those over to the town, because we wouldn't have any more development activities, centralized around those. This section's pretty straightforward in terms of utilities. We're going to be connecting to the water main, which is the long dead-end main, to a hydrant on the existing water main we installed off Authors Ave. We're also going to be extending sanitary sewer, which will begin on the western portion, drain to the east, and connect into a stub that we've already put under Authors Ave as well. Storm sewers are going to be managed, the buildings and the impervious, mainly by just rooftop disconnection. We do have road pitch from the east to the west down toward the central pond. So everything's going to be disconnected, sheet flow to the road, continue down to the western portion into 2 existing catch basins, and then drain directly into that large central stormwater area. This has all been accounted for with the overall drainage design that was reviewed with the preliminary application, and all the stormwater ponds and everything were all constructed and fully built out with section 1. And then the quality practices, some of them were being built out now with the current section 2 construction activities that are still going on.
James, I'm sorry, can I interrupt you for?
Absolutely.
Mr. Young, is the application here, when it says 8 instead of 10, is that a typo, or? Because it's supposed to be 10 apparently, it says 8 on there, so.
Scrivener's error.
Chris is just making stuff up.
So we have to make sure that it's truly 10, because we have,
I mean, is it a typo? I don't know.
right,
Write it. but
don't we have to make sure that
it's
we're,
8, it's not 8, so.
I'm not doing it. What do you got?
Is it, has the plan always shown 10? I'm not familiar with.
Yes, there's always been 10 lots here from the overall preliminary approvals, consistent on all the cover sheets that they've been shown in with the plans we just submitted.
yeah, this may just be semantics, but aren't we beholden to what we're trying to approve here?
I wonder well, let's see, what does it say?
Yeah, it's just an error.
What was advertised?
When was it advertised?
What was advertised for this public hearing?
I'm guessing.
Is there a public hearing actually?
No, it's not a public hearing.
Because it's final, consistent with
It's
the
final
plan.
subdivision approval, yeah. So it was probably advertised for, typical planning board guidance.
Yeah.
It was overall advertised as 130, whatever the overall unit count.
We're approved at 110 right now. This is still 110 lots once we
Yeah.
build out section 3.
Yeah, and everybody, I don't mean to nitpick, but technicalities get people all the time. So
Yeah, good question.
Yep, good catch.
Yeah, I believe everything that we submitted, all the letters of intent, all the applications should all indicate 10. I'd be very surprised if they indicate 8.
but also our public letters that go out to everybody in 500 feet, right? You have to see that as well.
No, not
They
for
don't.
final subdivision approval, we don't.
Okay, cool.
So no notices went out to the public
No.
for this outside of the agenda that was posted to the website?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you misadvertise something, there's a risk. There's a greater risk when it's, I would say reasonably, there's probably a greater risk when there's a public hearing and the advertisement's incorrect and the legal notice.
Yeah, and the application clearly says 10, so we've got that.
Yeah, certainly, whenever there's any kind of error public facing, it carries some risk. Yeah.
Is there anything we can put in the resolution to say we are recognizing this as a typographical error and it was supposed to be 10?
I don't know that it really does anything for you. I think the resolution should say, if you're gonna move forward, it should definitely say what it is that you're approving.
Consisting of 10.
So it should say, if you want to move forward to approve what they're applying for, it should say 10 and not 8.
Okay, great. Sorry to hold you up, but I think that's
Not
kind of be important.
The landscaping right now, we're proposing 10 trees, one for each lot, in the front yard, consistent with how we've done sections 1 and 2. If you recall, when we went through plantings with section 1, Learwood Estate planted, I think was like 150 plus trees in the open space areas in that central area, as long as along the southern boundary there for some screening on throughways to kind of fill in some gap. So right now we are currently with this section, we'll be at 309 tree credits. We're only required to do 220 for the 110 lot subdivision. So we're well above the tree count credit. But just to be consistent again with the previous sections, we're still looking to plant 1 tree in the front yards to establish the streetscape. As I mentioned earlier, we did receive comments from town staff last week. We provided written responses yesterday. We also had a chance to review the markups from Chris Martin. Nothing in any of the comments or the markups was any concern to us. We'll be working on revisions of those and get those over to the town. The one thing I do want to discuss with you guys, though, that came up was the comment from Kevin Wilson regarding the front setbacks. Mr. Martin did mention to me that that was something you guys would like to discuss. The commentary was basically requesting that we provide a 35-foot front setback. In the comment, Mr. Martin did mention to me that they'd be willing to go to something like 30. Currently, we have a 25-foot setback on this drive from the right of way. So that provides us today with about a 38-foot driveway. So approximately 2 parking spaces easily or very comfortably fit 1 parking space in front and back. Obviously, all these houses are also equipped with garages. The intent is to still have Ryan Homes develop these. Currently, they're offering 4 different housing models. You can actually go online and go to Lehigh Ridge, Ryan Homes, and they'll come up. Of those 4 models, all 4 of them have 2-car garages. So with that, you'd have a approximately 21 foot wide driveway. So you could very comfortably fit up to 4 cars in any of these lots with the currently proposed layout. And again, you could also 4-stack 4 cars in the driveway if you wanted to be, very tight if you were having, guests or family there. So we're pretty comfortable with, the setbacks as proposed. If we go back to the actual overall preliminary plans, when this is a private drive, the driveway provided was actually less than what we are currently doing today. So, I think at this point, we would like to kind of maintain some of the flexibility. 2 of the housing models don't have the garage at the front setback either. 1 is 8 feet behind that, and 1 is 2. The other 2 do have it there. However, I think for us, I think we would prefer to keep the setback as proposed and just make the home buyers aware of, this is how long your driveway is going to be, because we can always set the houses back further. We do have a little bit of limited backyard space. The lots obviously to the north are right up to that overhead power line, as well as a drainage swale that cuts through lot 232 and just the very tip of it, you can kind of see where that finger comes out. That swale actually connects those two ponds through there. There is two arch culverts with crossing ways in there to provide access to the open space. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the southern 7 lots, those have the high power gas mains easements on this very southern portion of it. So those are up at a higher grade, and we've got a little bit of a slope down to our rear yard swale. So we can likely accommodate a 5-foot increase if that is something that the board's going to require from us without any issues, but it does kind of diminish the already limited rear yard space. So we would prefer to keep it as proposed and then just, have the flexibility to, if we want to set them back 5 feet behind the setback to, provide some extra driveway space for, comfort to those homes if they think they're going to have that many vehicles or something, as opposed to requesting it and then kind of being a little pinched in the rear yard spaces for these homes.
James, I had a quick question for you. So I think the concern is that the double cars stacked together might infringe on the sidewalk, right? Are you telling me that there's enough space to get 2 cars in the driveway without crossing the sidewalk?
So as there is right now, there is no sidewalk proposed for this section.
No sidewalk.
Correct. So we'll have, we are proposing 40 feet setback basically from the edge of pavement. So once you take out the gutter and then, factor in, say, another 6 inches for how far the house is behind their front setback, you're looking at a 38-foot long driveway. Parking spaces are 9 by 18 typically, so that's 36 feet. So you'd have a couple, 3-4 feet of flexibility, which again, if you were trying to double stack cars behind each other, you'll be up to the garage, and to the back of the gutter, except if you were on 2 of the models that have a little bit extra space. Again, if you have another 8 feet, that's very comfortable. If you have 2, it's a little less. And then for any of the homes that again would be with the garage forward, we could always look to set those back another foot or 2 just based on, Ryan Homes and developing the lot.
Okay. Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
to your
Director.
point, Mr. Martin, what was we did a similar setback for the fairways, and they were sidewalks. Do you recall what that distance from sidewalk to garage was?
Actually, I was thinking more of, I written out here, River's Edge, thank you. River's Edge, very similar situation where, they did have sidewalks on one side of the road, but the sidewalks were up against the concrete gutter, but we wanted a certain distance from the back edge of the sidewalk to the front setback. I'll be honest, Craig, I don't remember exactly what that dimension was, but I know that was pretty close to the 38 feet. That sounds actually a little bit long. I don't think it was quite that long.
And I'm getting a little long, but 38, I'm measuring on the fairways from the garage to the sidewalk.
Yeah,
So
I did have a-
my point, Mr. Chairman, is that I'm asking the same question. I think we've approved something similar, but as long as it doesn't inflict with a sidewalk, which in this case, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I know.
will say, I just interrupt for a minute. I did have a long conversation with Kevin about this. Obviously, the even numbers are not the even numbers, but 25, 30, 35, it's easier to deal in a 5-foot increments. However, I'm not supposed to say this, but he said that he would take 27 feet as opposed to 30. If that helps.
Okay.
We're saying 38 here.
27. Yeah, so it would be, so if you give an extra 2 feet, that would be almost 40 feet from the edge of the concrete gutter, the back edge of the concrete gutter to the front setback, which, depending on which model you choose, it could be more than that, but it certainly wouldn't be less than that 40 feet.
Right. Yeah. You did a 27-foot setback requirement. You'd have 40 feet if the house was built on the setback line to the back of the gutter, which again is, you can fit 2 cars in there with a little room to maneuver around. That's what you would see in, a shopping plaza or anything else. So.
Yeah, and James brings a good point. I mean, most of your parking spaces are 9 by 18. But again, I want to honor, what Kevin's comment is as well.
Thank you.
So how does this is something we need to handle in our resolution, so.
Yep.
What do we want to do? Because right now, we're kind of saying 2 things. We're saying we're allowing them to cluster pursuant to their plans, and we're also saying you got to address the comments of the building inspector, which says reduce the setback. So what's the board inclined to do? here?
Extend the setback, not reduce it.
Correct.
They're asking for what again? I'm sorry?
25 foot setback
asking
from
for
the
20
right of way.
Well, they're,
From the right of way.
yeah, from the right of way, and the way the plans are written, it does, I think, make a statement from the edge of gutter. But obviously, we want that changed to the front setback. So from right of way to front setback, right now, it's 25 feet.
25 feet, and there's about 13 feet between the right of way and
Right.
the back of the
And
gutter. So
38
you get
feet.
38.
So I think what we're saying is that, you know, do you want to stick with 25 feet? Do you want to go to 30 feet, or do you want something in between?
But 25 was approved in the overall cluster.
No,
No, because this was a private
private drive.
drive. So the driveway length was actually less than what we're proposing on these plans today, except that it was a private drive. You know, when we talked with the town to come up with a road section that would work, they requested a 50-foot right away. And then so we kind of held the same. Well, we held 40 feet back from the edge of pavement, which when you factor the other things, ended up with about a 38-foot driveway. So again, we're comfortable if the board's purview is to increase it. I mean, the 2 foot would be a lot more manageable
Yeah,
for us.
Kevin he's comfortable with 27. I'd be good with
It
27.
would be moving the houses back.
It'd be moving the front setback on each side of the road out.
2 feet each.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's happy if we do 27.
Yes,
Now,
Steve,
where they are.
good 27?
27.
And you're good with 27.
Yeah, I mean, we're already showing the house pad the foot behind the right of way anyways. That's typical. So I mean, if we're pushing it back 2 feet, that really doesn't
Or on that.
impact us.
Well, to have setback, you have houses back.
Correct.
You got that done? Mr. Young, I'm sorry. Good, Craig, you're good with 27?
So
I'm
the
good
front,
with 25.
Okay,
So yeah, I'm good with you.
all right.
the front setback will be 42,
No,
because it's measured from the edge of pavement.
That's just how the plans are issued. The town staff asked us to revise that to indicate that.
yeah, we want it from the right of way line as opposed to the edge of gutter or edge of pavement.
Okay, the front setback shall be 27 feet from the edge of pavement.
Nope,
From
right
the
away.
right of way.
Right away.
Okay. And then so for Director of Planning and Fire Prevention comments, we're going to change compliance where therewith to say, except that the front setback shall be 27 feet from the right of way. Correct?
Yes,
Instead of,
35 feet with
Instead
what
of-
he initially asked for.
and it's showing at 25.
Yeah, he didn't understand, or he didn't know there weren't gonna be sidewalks. But because there's not sidewalk, you know, the cars can approach that.
Given that there are no sidewalks. Okay, so I'll add to his comment that the front setback shall be 27 feet from the right of way, given that there are no sidewalks. Okay? And I'll also add into our resolve that, the same thing, that the front setback shall be 27 feet from the right of way and the plans revised accordingly. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll go through the board now. Mr. Borkowski, I'll begin with you this time. Thank you very much. Mr. List,
I am all set.
very good. Mr. Rutledge?
Was there originally a circle proposed, or is that just in the name?
No, if you weren't here before, when we went through this originally, the open space area that is located south of this, that is actually, the reason why the road kind of dipped around is that was a archaeological sensitive area that we coordinated through with SHPO. It used to be the remains of an old, drummer boy from the Revolutionary War. And that still exists out there today. So that's being preserved.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
There's a foundation still there.
Yep,
Chris
and
has done a great
that's
job.
planned to be dedicated to the town. I know
Wait a
that
minute. The foundation's still there?
Yeah, how much is there?
So explain to drummer boy.
it was just his house. So he lived there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the road name that or the applicant decided on a couple of years ago.
I remember this story from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think the town historian had some thoughts about trying to work through that. I think we provided all the documentation that SHPO provided to us. That was a little bit confidential. We got confirmed with them.
Probably be put it through in
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Mrs. Brill?
Well, the golf course worked.
You're good, okay. Chair will recognize Mrs. Brill.
Yeah, in addition to, saying 8 single and it should be 10,
So- I'll revise that. I'll also update in the resolution then, okay?
I'm very glad to see that it's not dumber boy circle as it is written on the agenda, and it is drummer boy, because I saw that, I'm like, who came up with that name?
Hey, Heather's originally gonna be named after me.
So,
Oh, dear.
You see it?
See it.
No, that was the engineering department mistake.
Oh, it was, oh.
I'll take the hit for that one, because we reviewed these before they go out.
Sorry, Heather.
I'm all set.
All set, okay. Mr. Eckert?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I do not have any comments. This is part of an overall subdivision. Everything else has been addressed through
Very
the
good.
previous approvals. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Martin, any final things from engineering?
I think I'm all set, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Young, you're all set?
Nothing additional, just if it's moved, make sure we note that it's moved with the revisions, the resolution.
Yep, okay. All right, we'll take them, Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve application PB 329.2B. And I'm going to read this as it should be. Lehigh Ridge subdivision, section 2B for final subdivision approval for 10 single-family lots, etc. With the revisions on the resolution included.
Okay, can I get a second, please? Mrs. Brill, thank you. Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. And the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you guys all very much.
Thanks, gentlemen.
See you soon for section 3, probably.
Peter, you're still with us? All right. Long drive up to
Okay.
Fairport.
Your lucky night.
All right, next item, discussion item. Peter, who are you here with? Garber or with the Burger King? Okay, I was gonna flip them. It's Garber Honda Renovations, Planning Board to review proposed facade improvements to the existing building at 3925 West Henrietta Road, including an 824 square foot addition on the southern elevation.
So, yes, so, Peter Bars from BME Associates. As it relates to, Garber, basically Honda's going through a rebranding. So they're updating their Honda branding, throughout the area, or when I say the area, the Northeast. So, Lefroy Builders has been retained as their contractor. So what you see on the rendering is what is proposed. I think we have the elevation in there that shows the existing signage that would be removed. But as this shows the new, there would be Honda, the Honda logo on the left side, and then Garber on the right. That service drive you see to the very right, that's there today. So the current elevation, if you are familiar, has the blue wave that runs along the complete facade.
I remember when they redid that.
Exactly.
Like
It
that
was not long ago. Exactly. Yeah, thank you, Lucas. So yeah, that's the current brand facade. So actually it's less signage with regards to what they're doing there. So as when we brought this forward to staff, they just recommended that we appear this evening.
Yeah.
Just for any questions or comments. So
Very good.
them hard.
All right, Mr. Rutledge, any questions or comments?
No, I mean, it does look like it's gonna look pretty similar to the Audi next door. But otherwise, I think it looks fine.
Very good. Okay. Mr. List,
I am fine with Mr. Chairman.
very good. Thank you. Mr. Borkowski.
I like it. It's cleaner.
It is. Yeah, I agree. Mrs. Brill.
Agreed, ditto.
Hey, Mr. Eckert.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I have no comments.
Okay. All right. Well, Chair will just make a motion to approve the refinements, renovations
Motion
as
approved.
shown. Mr. Borkowski got two? Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Chair will
Object.
motion carries. That's it. What?
I'm being harassed.
How's that better?
Thank you.
Want me to put a Yankee sign on that?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I thought you were objecting to your own approval.
I'm not an HR guy anymore, so I can't help with it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for your.
Have a good one.
Thank you for your patience tonight. Appreciate
Sorry to
it.
keep you so late for that.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last item, another discussion item, Burger King renovations. Were to review the proposed facade improvements and a proposed accessible pedestrian route for the existing restaurant located at 1100 Jefferson Road. It's interesting because the other night I saw this on the news. Burger King is trying to renovate 85% of their restaurants into this.
Nationwide?
Yes, yep.
Oh, yeah, they got rid of the king and they're moving forward with a more modern.
Brown, yeah. Anybody online there, Luke, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have someone online. If you're there, can you, and this is your application, can you speak up?
Yes, good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Blood with got some feedback.
Bob Blood.
Good evening, Mr. Blood. We can't quite hear you yet.
Josh, do you want to step in? Maybe you want to step in?
Still can't hear you, just FYI. Oh, it's showing he's on mute. On the one.
It says he's talking.
It's
Why don't you check your settings in here, Luke, just to make sure that you're on the right output.
Sorry, hold on, Bob. Oh, yeah, because it's saying that second one down is blowing, right? So that's him. Try that.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
we hear you somewhere, but I'm not sure what you're coming out.
Well, you could turn it back up because we did hear him.
yeah, turn it up. All right, try it again.
Hello, testing.
Can you get a little closer to your microphone maybe? Because we can hear you, but our volume's turned all the way up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the Samsung on the, because it'll
I
put
have
it
a
through.
colleague with me. Let me mute and see if he has a better look than me. Josh, take over him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Hello, this is Josh Bezos. Can you hear me? Hello?
Try something now, Bob. Oh, now you're on mute.
Now, I was able to hear him fine. Number 3 caller, is that you? Could you get a shot at this? Project
This is
architect,
Paul Morris from Skyborn. Can you hear me?
No, we're still working on it a little bit.
Yeah,
I can hear you, but you're very dim.
Are you in a headset?
Yes.
Apologies
Everybody's
for
very
that.
faint from our team.
That's good.
Who is that?
This is Josh Bezos with Burger King Corporation.
We could,
I'm screaming at my computer.
That's working.
yeah, we can hear you.
That's working. Yeah. go
Okay,
ahead.
yep, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I have my architect, Paul, and my civil engineer, Bob Blood, tonight to present a sizzle remodel project we're looking to introduce to your community. This project includes some exterior improvements to the site and also the building facade and also a dining room remodel. Can everyone see the elevations on the screen right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bob and Paul have kind of taken a lead in putting together our application. You can see our fresh building materials and fresh look. This is a rollout program we've introduced about 2 years ago that we're implementing around the country. You can see that it also includes additional signage, new branding on the project. I just wanted to point out that this is a early representation of what the building could look like. We have to apply a code check with the regulations. So some of the signage may change depending on your limitations within your zoning ordinance, okay? Sorry, was someone speaking there?
We just agreed with you. Thank you.
Oh, okay, sorry. Can we bring up the site plan as well, just to talk about the exterior? That's the floor plan, I believe. Is staff sharing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's probably the best drawing. Yeah, the proposed site plan. Okay, so we have an existing Burger King that you may have frequented before, located at the corner of Jefferson Road and Henrietta Road, within a shopping center complex. The exterior improvements that we'd like to highlight include redoing some of the parking stalls in front of the building. We're trying to bring anything that's deficient and non-ADA compliant up to code. We are also looking to replace some of the outdated technological drive-through equipment that you can see around the outside of Plan East of the plan, which would include the clearance bar and also the order confirmation unit. We also are proposing upgrading or changing the existing canopies over the drive-through windows that you can see as you circulate around the building. That's part of the updated signage package. And we're also proposing updating the handicap stalls in front as well, with some protective bollards so we don't have any building strikes. But as you can see, it's pretty minimal. We are proposing some landscaping upgrades. If you can scroll to the landscaping sheet, you'll see replacement greenery added. Thank you. This highlights some of the existing, but also we are looking to supplement the landscaping around the green space on our property.
Yeah, looks nice.
So we're looking to maintain the existing access points and circulation on site. So fairly minimal changes to the outside. It's more kind of facility maintenance activities just to make sure we have a fresh look on the building and the site as well. We would be ultimately updating the existing site plan striping as well on site so that customers can find their way throughout the site a little bit better, since the existing is a little bit worn from age and use.
So the entrance is moving to the other side of the building?
No, it's
I see East Henrietta Road. I see East Henrietta Road. Forgive me.
yeah. No, the entrances are staying the same.
Okay, I see the drive-through. I was looking at it in a different way. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Coming in
It's
here.
a single drive-through that's going to remain a single drive-through.
Yep.
The footprint of the building is also scheduled to be the same. Okay. Guys have any
Good to meet-
questions for us?
No, I like the look. It's refreshing.
It's not much different than what it is now, but it's just cleaner. Am I correct? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, we're getting a fresh look, fresh materials on the outside, a new slightly different color scheme.
Yeah, I like it.
Now the crown, right, and that Burger King logo, those are illuminated signs, is that correct?
Yes, so I can explain that. So yeah, we were working with a national sign vendor to apply new branding. Now the channel letters, which spell out Burger King on the front elevation and also the main entrance, are internally illuminated. The crown, which some jurisdictions consider a light versus a sign, that is haloed or backlit. And then the Home of the Whopper sign, which you see on the main entrance there, that does have a strip lighting that is slightly concealed that kind of casts a illumination on the Home of the Whopper, which in future, the case planner, I'm sorry, I haven't met you yet, but we can send you some as-built documentation, which would help you be able to visualize a complete store from around the country and how the illumination would work with the signage too, okay? So we have a combination of lighting techniques to attract customers to the building, including an LED strip lights that's concealed in the trellis and some of the corner brackets of the building, okay?
Do we know if the Burger King on West, this is on East Henrietta Road, do we know if the Burger King on West Henrietta Road, which is a fairly new build, is that the new?
I can find that out for you. I don't have that knowledge. If the Bob or Paul, if you could record that address and get it from the case planner, I'll investigate. Now, please keep in mind that although I work for Burger King Corporation, we do have a lot of franchisees that are located around the country that have different operations. Although they're expected to meet brand standards, they may have been remodeled in a different cycle. So I'll just need to investigate that, okay?
Yeah, is this a corporate store then? This one is corporate or franchise?
No, this is owned by Carol's LLC, which
Okay.
was
Yeah.
the largest Burger King franchise in the country. It still is, but Carol's LLC and RBI, which is Restaurants Brand International, merged or was acquired by RBI. So we are more connected to corporate, but this is going to be a Carol's LLC store. It's going to have the same operator, the same staff. So it's just going to be business as usual. The hours of operation will remain the same as they are now. So you'll see a lot of the same, community within the store. Okay.
Okay, good. Well, thank you. Anything else?
Unless Bob or Paul have anything they'd like to bring up that I may have missed. We were planning on submitting separate sign permits and building permits once we've satisfied your board and commission.
Sorry. Mr. Blood, did you have something to say?
I don't have anything more to add. Apparently, I'm still having issues with the audio, so nothing to
Okay.
add. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Mr. List?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, Mr. Rutledge.
Since we've got a proposed accessible pedestrian road, did I miss something about that? Was that mentioned in the discussion item that mentions, that's that?
I believe so.
That's the pedestrian access, yeah.
Okay. And where does that lead to?
Right at the corner with
Sidewalk.
Just to that sidewalk. Okay, I see. All right,
I'm all set.
thank you.
Mrs. Brill?
I have nothing, thank you.
Mr. Eckert?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I have a couple comments. So back to Mr. Rutledge's comment there. The crosswalk coming in, is that in the entrance and then the pavement, or is that a sidewalk?
Looks like it's part of the pavement.
In the entrance pavement. So the what I'm looking at, Lucas, is the entrance. So coming in from the main entrance, yep, that piece right there. Is that a sidewalk or is that just striped pavement?
That's already a sidewalk. According to satellite. Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about,
The east-west
yeah, sorry.
portion.
This is east, yeah.
From east and down. Can you see that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
It's pavement.
That's pavement, yeah.
So we're just striping the entrance.
Yeah, it says updated paint, right?
So the whole drive-through lane is shifting over, or I guess there's a little bit of a gap between the drive-through lane and the edge of the pavement.
Yeah, the intention is to delineate
the drive-through lane, which really is just arrows now.
And they're basically going like this. They're gonna straight the pavement here. to there.
Is there any way to have that entrance be up on the curb? And not just striped pavement? Is there any way to make that a sidewalk?
Without parking behind it.
And then the crosswalk can be in the pavement.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, he said we could probably do that. We just have
Okay,
to look at the engineering, but we'll
Yeah, so the
investigate
cross
that
piece
for you.
from the west side to the east, that's fine as a crosswalk is striped. I was just hoping the entrance coming down from the north corner to the south could be a concrete sidewalk on a curb, a safety area.
Yeah, so this is Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning. As part of this whole process, they're got to submit an administrative site plan for us to review. Because of putting a cooler up there. So as part of that, we can address those comments.
Great. Any change to the lighting of the site?
No change.
Okay, then the only other comment I have is almost back to Chris. The landscape details are not the town's. So we would just want that change to Town of Henrietta details for
Yeah.
landscaping.
And again, when this does come in for administrative site plan approval, we can certainly make sure that those details are on the plan.
So this was just a discussion.
That's just discussion tonight.
Yeah, so it again, it's really just on the building elevation.
Yeah, so I didn't read that, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I am absolutely fine and elated with the building elevation.
Very good.
Well, that would be.
I have no comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it looks good. It's gonna be nice, so.
Offers for everyone.
So make a motion to approve the elevations.
I think Craig should make.
Yes, I think Craig should too.
Yeah, I will absolutely approve the discussion on the elevation.
Okay,
Elated.
I'll grab the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed, say nay. All right, we like the elevations, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
You
night.
bet. Have a good evening.
Can I just request from the Burger King folks to repeat the names? I have Bob Blood as the civil engineer. I have Paul as the architect.
Last name's Morris, Morris.
Great, thanks. And then from Burger King,
Yeah, Joshua. And then last name is B-A-Z-I-S. Bezos.
great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Borkowski, motion to adjourn.
Motion to 8:36, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. 8:36. Okay.
Whatever. Where the